Online News Act Wikipedia. The Online News Act, or Bill C-18, is a Canadian federal statute designed to establish a framework for digital news intermediaries to compensate online news publishers for their content. Introduced and passed in the 44th Canadian Parliament, it received royal assent on June 22, 2023. The Act will be enforced under regulations regulated by the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, CRTC. Its main objective is to improve the sustainability of the Canadian digital news market. The bargaining code will be published in mid-2024, with enforcement starting by late 2024 or early 2025. The Act includes a provision allowing eligible news businesses to initiate mandatory bargaining with a digital news intermediary. This occurs if there is a significant bargaining power imbalance between the intermediary's operator and the news business. News businesses are eligible under the Act if they are a qualified Canadian journalism organization, a licensed community, campus, or Indigenous broadcaster, a publisher, or an Indigenous news outlet. The process consists of 3 steps: bargaining, mediation, and final offer arbitration. Intermediaries can request an exemption order from the CRTC if they meet requirements for fair compensation. Supporters of the bill believe it addresses an imbalance between tech companies and Canadian publishers by requiring them to provide fair compensation for their content. Critics argue it enables drastic measures under questionable assumptions and may stifle competition among media companies. The Act faced backlash from tech giants Google and Meta platforms. They announced that they would no longer make news content available to users in Canada via their services, citing uncapped potential financial liability. After the blockage, concerns were raised about the potential for wide accessibility of fake news content. The federal government and other entities suspended advertising on Facebook and Instagram in response. In August 2023, a complaint was filed under the Competition Act, alleging that Meta was blocking content and preventing good faith negotiations with news businesses. Critics argue that Meta does not have substantial control over access to news. The decision negatively impacted Indigenous communities and other small news outlets. Amid the 2023 Canadian wildfires, Meta received further calls to lift its restrictions on news content